Alright, welcome back guys to this particular video on Let's Playing Total Annihilation. This is once again my practice playthrough if I want to do something bigger beyond this, so if I make mistakes, well, I don't care. Let me just talk about when this game came out. It came out in 1997. I was teaching a student recently and I said, oh yeah, I'm playing this game that came out in 1997. And they said, oh yeah, that's when I was born. Made me feel old. She's in 11th grade. Oh well. I'm gonna go back to loading the game. Oh, come on. Oh, yep, this is what I want. I was about to say, I lost my game!
Although they had managed to free the captured gate and return their commander to Empyreon, armed troops continued to weather attacks by Core forces in increasing numbers. It became apparent that the Core had managed to construct a K-bot lab somewhere on Empyreon itself and was building an army as fast as it could.
Well, that was a pretty short narration. I guess there really wasn't too much to say. K-bot's is a kinetic robot. Basically any bipedal robot in the game is just called a K-bot. I'm going to go ahead and start this particular mission and I'm going to talk about some of their stuff. Alright, this is paused. Resume. I'm going to press Control W to get everything that has a weapon besides the commander and just send them over there. I'm going to talk a little bit about the resources right now. By the way, I'm holding Shift so I can do multiple Qs here. Different... Oops, I've already got a little bit of action there. I was going to try to hold off on some of the action. Let me talk a little bit about the resources while my units are... Oops. Pressed the commander at the wrong time, and now he's going to be off cue. Darn, that's alright. Let me get rid of these pesky K-bots. These are these are AKs. They're being killed by my Pee-wees. There aren't too many differences at this level between ARM and Core. Some people may really disagree with me when I say that, but that's kind of how I feel. At this particular rate, they're kind of similar at this juncture. Different RTSs have different resources and different resource themes, and so let's compare this to another game. Let's compare this to Warcraft 2. Warcraft 2, you had Gold and Timber. Gold was location-based with limited gathering. You can only really have so many people gathering gold at one time. And then Timber was location-based and to be near a forest, but you could have lots of people doing it. In StarCraft 20, you had Vespene Gas, which is, once again, it was location-based. There was only a few Vespene Gas geysers. No, I'm going to lose that. It's alright, not the end of the world. What is talking about? Vespene Gas, which was location-based. And then you could only have a few people gathering Vespene Gas at one time. And then you also had minerals, which is location-based, but you can add more to it. But this is going to be a little bit odd, because in Total Annihilation you have metal and energy. Metal is definitely a location-based resource. There's only a few actual metal deposits around. You can reclaim, wreckage for certain amounts of metal. See, that says wreckage was 45. Yay, I got some metal. Let me go ahead and start building my factory, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about their stuff. But energy, you can build anywhere, and you can build these solar collectors basically anywhere. By the way, trees can catch on fire. It's odd that StarCraft did so much better than Total Annihilation, even though I do feel this is the better game. StarCraft simply had the better storyline. This one doesn't really have a storyline. Some people may not like it when I say that, but the truth is Total Annihilation doesn't really have a storyline. I'm going to just mix up these units, so I'm going to do 555. I'm holding down Shift to click these. 30 should be enough. But yeah, you can build energy anywhere and metal in only specific places. So this is metal is the location-based resource, and energy is universal. Using what I'm pressing is O for order and D for D-gun. Now, your commander is you. And this is kind of what differentiates you from other games. In Total Annihilation, you have an avatar. It is you. You are the commander. If you lose your commander, either in single player or multiplayer, you've lost. You've lost you. It isn't about base building as so much as it is about you. You are a character in this story, so that's kind of interesting. With the D-Gun, if you D-Gun Wreckage or anyone else, you lose those resources. Once again, I'm holding Shift-Click to queue up multiple orders. This is your K-Bot lab, and it's building K-Bots, which includes, like I said, mostly bipedal machines. Oops, there's one guy over there. Let me see if I can get him. Let me also say, I can hold fire and capture some of these guys by pressing OC, and C is the capture button. Be kind of difficult. Let me see if I can. I'm going to just hang out right here and wait till that AK comes back, and I'll try to capture him. Show you a capture command. I can have my commander help build. He also nanolathes. Once again, he uses a nanolathe to eat stuff. See, foliage gives you energy, and these rocks give you metal. This is a very brightly colored game. There's lots of primary colors. You know, since this isn't our practice playthrough, I'm going to talk about some other stuff. Ooh, here comes that AK. Hey, buddy. Be my friend. Stop attacking me. Come back. Come back here. Okay. See, I'm going to make him mine. Yep. Yeah, he's mine. Okay. Doesn't really matter. But it's nice to have your own units. You can actually capture the enemy's K-Bot labs and constructors and build their units. But like I said, at low levels, the ARM and the core are functional analogs. I can actually issue commands to this K-Bot lab. I can actually move them places. If I do that, then when he's constructed, he's going to move here. I could actually tell him to move and do a patrol, which is another option I could use. Oh, I'm actually quickly getting enough units to really be able to do stuff. I can actually manually tell my commander to help one unit, and if I do, he will contribute to that unit. Or I can tell him to guard this K-Bot lab. The trouble with that is I'm using more metal and energy than I would otherwise. Generally, throughout the game, metal takes longer to deplete than energy. Energy is the more volatile resource. You know what made Total Annihilation really kind of unique? I'm going to talk about revolutionary simplicity with this game. Your metal never runs out. This isn't like gold in Warcraft or Warcraft 2 or StarCraft with minerals. It never goes away. Your energy never goes away. And that's one of the interesting things that makes it truly unique as far as other games. Now, later on, Warhammer 40k 1, it sounds like a lot, but Warhammer 40k, and there's Warhammer 40k 2. But anyway, Dawn of War 1 actually had resources that don't really go away. They deplete and they take a while to build up, but they basically don't go away. So this kind of established the sense of unlimited resources. And it plays well. As the game progresses, the units become overbalanced and overpowered. I don't want to say overpowered so much as overbalanced. And there are in-game units that basically kill the game, so that it usually comes to a speedy conclusion. The first game to do that, by the way, really was the first game that I know was a game called Call to Power. Call to Power was a successor to the Civ series back when they lost the rights to the Civ series. But Call to Power, in its later stages, had overpowered units like lawyers and other things that would just destroy the game. You couldn't do much after that. They had lawyers and eco-terrorists and tele-evangelists, just powerful units that just broke the game intentionally, so that no game lasted too long. We'll turn off the tilde so you can just see them as this. Let me just say this is a 3D game. These are not sprites. If you know what a sprite is basically when someone draws an image of what a unit would look like from the front and the back and the sides and every diagonal angle. These are actually 3D units. It's another reason why this is actually a little bit better than StarCraft. These are 3D units. This is my artillery unit. I love Jethros. They have such great range. They're mainly used for anti-air, but they can really destroy things. You could use your commander, of course, to heal these units. His nano lathe, that is the lathe for his nanites, can basically do all that stuff. I don't need this last group. This is enough. This is actually more than enough. Let me wait for this hammer to be healed. Anyway, yeah, I'll talk about Krogoths and Big Berthas and end unit things here in a second. There's a nasty laser turret right here. Oh! You'll notice that most of the rockets were hitting this hill. You'll also notice that my units are not shooting the buildings. Come on, guys. They're shooting the building right now because they're trying to get that AK. But in order to shoot buildings, you just got to press shoot all. And that'll let you know that they're going to shoot everything, including the buildings. Once again, the move orders, I can have them maneuver, roam, or hold position. I like to maneuver. The aggression buttons are hold fire, return fire, and fire at will. I wish every game had these simplistic things. I've actually haven't found too many games that make these that simple. That's what I got to destroy. Hold fire. Just so the game doesn't end too quickly. I'm actually going to destroy everybody else, but that K-Bot Lab. I want to show you the entire game, so I'm definitely going to delay the end of this mission. Uh-oh. Kill him. There we go. Most of these will hit the mountain, but my artillery units, my hammers, are going to get them pretty easily. I'm actually manually targeting these units right now. There. Fire well. I don't know if that actually turns off shoot all. I just want to... Yeah, it did. It did manage to turn it off. I just want to show basic combat. You know, you got to keep your units moving for a few reasons. Oh, they are actually shooting that building on their own. I don't know how you turn off that. Is it just plus shoot all again? Does that keep your units from indiscriminately destroying buildings? I don't know. We'll see here in a second. Nope, yep. So as you can see, that's the K-Bot Lab I have to destroy, but I'm not going to destroy it. Control-C lets you select your commander, and I'm going to tell him to hold fire too. I'm going to show you just me capturing some buildings, just to make this episode last longer. I was satisfied with the quality of my AverMedia game capture too. It had a pretty good MPEG-4 quality. The trouble is when you upload things to YouTube, you lose quality. So as you're watching this is going to be of lower quality than what I'm playing it. Let me also say I disagree with people using the higher resolutions versions of this game. I want to show an authentic experience. And back in the day, people had 4:3. And this is, 4:3 ratio aspects. They didn't use no widescreen. See, once again, I'm sounding old. See, I can go ahead and build something there. If you wanted the authentic total annihilation, one day I'll be able to say total annihilation fluently. Experience, you got to play it on a 4:3 scale. You don't want to do any widescreen stuff. Plus, it shrinks everything. And in order to get the full experience, you should play it in a 4:3 scale. If I just tell the commander to patrol around a certain area, he will actually repair units. So not only will he repair units, if something's being constructed, he will help out in construction there. So that should give you a sense of how this game is played. What made it kind of revolutionary is you start out as a unit. And, in multiplayer games, you start out as the commander. The commander's really powerful. He can do his D-gun. He actually has a lot of hit points. That doesn't mean he can't get killed too easily, but that means there is a sizable amount of safety net at the beginning of the game. The games take a long time to resolve. I mean, let me say that again. Games don't end super quickly, and they do have terminating time because of the way they function. Because of the way overpowered units near the end of the game function. You can actually repair the enemy here. I can actually issue a repair command on the enemy base. But once again, I'm not going to win the game if I do that. So instead of blowing it up, I'm just going to capture it. And once we captured it, that will be that. And I think I've discussed everything I kind of wanted to discuss for this mission. See, I can build their units too. But yeah, I think I talked about how this was in 1997. It was 3D based, not sprite based. Ooh, nice little vista there. Talked about the resources, and I talked about a lot of other stuff, especially as regards to the UI. And so I think I'm going to end there and see how my sound did, if my sound did any better at all. And other than that, I'm just going to save this as A2. There you go. There you go. And please join us next time for the next Let's Play Total Annihilation in Context.